Namaste, angels. This is going to be the weekly love reading for the period of the 14th, Sunday, January 14th through Saturday, January 20th. Quickly going over what we have going on. On the 1st of January, we had the full moon in Cancer, so we could still be feeling energy from that and experiencing situations connected to that. On the 2nd, for some of us, that was the full moon, depending upon where we're located. Also on that day, Uranus went direct. Uranus, ruler of Aquarius, that had been in retrograde for a very, very long time. It faced direct. So all the planets are like forward moving right now, which is awesome. On the 11th, which was yesterday, Mercury entered Capricorn. And I've been seeing a lot of evidence of that. Even I'm like Doreen Virtue's page or something, or one of them, certified card readers or something connected to her, or Radley, or both, had posted the 8 of Swords yesterday on their page. And I shared it because I said, this is like, beware of this energy. This is Mercury in Capricorn illustrated, you know, that restrictive energy. That 8 of Swords is very much like the devil for me. You know, it's like practically the same card. So that's going on. The new moon occurs this week, new moon in Capricorn, on the 16th for some, on the 17th for others. Also on the 17th, Venus enters Aquarius. She is currently in Capricorn. She will be entering Aquarius. What else this week? The sun enters Aquarius on the 19th. And, oh, not as far as, astrology, but also on the 17th, the same day that Venus enters Aquarius, it's the first day of the Hebrew month of Shevat, which is the 11th month. So it's kind of like February, and it does span over some of February. The Hebrew months start in the middle of the month, in the middle of our Gregorian calendar month, and go into like the middle of the subsequent month. So it'll be like a 2. It's an 11. It's the 11th month of the ecclesiastical year, counting from Nisan. And it's all about man as a tree, which is a description of King Osiris. And it's about the tree of life for me, too. For the Hebrews, it recognizes the period of new growth. And again, that is the same day as the new moon. So new growth, new beginnings, all of that sort of coming together. New beginnings because of the month, the Hebrew month, but also new beginnings because of the new year. So yeah, that's 3 things that day. Hebrew month of Shevat, the new moon, Venus in Aquarius, all on the 17th. Depending upon where we are. Because again, for some people, the 16th is the new moon in Capricorn. Mars. Didn't mention Mars because it hasn't done anything yet. Mars is still in Scorpio, one of the zodiac signs which it rules. And it will remain there until or through the 26th of this month, if I remember correctly, at which time it enters Sagittarius. Speaking of both Mars and Sagittarius, I'm still burning only 2 incense, just like last week, yet we don't have all that smoke. So I really think it was about the heavy fire energy of the week. And I don't know if you guys have experienced it, but I have, and in so many ways. Even my memories on Facebook, in previous years, things were popping up from previous years that were connected to fire, me talking about fire this week. So it was all very interesting. I did see that light again in the general reading, which also interesting about the general reading. Aquarius definitely showed up. We have a lot of swords, positive sword energy. So not just Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. As a matter of fact, specifically Libra and Gemini showed up with like justice. But I just wanted to explain how that, like, that energy really came through. Also, the Mercury and Capricorn, to me, that was evident because there was a lot of swords cards. But again, positive swords cards, thankfully. And in addition to that, or the rest of the spread. Or spreads, I did more than one, were water. not much Capricorn at all. A lot of air and water. So in other words, a lot of relationship issues this week. And again, that was positive too. When I say relationship issues, they can absolutely be, with regard to your unions, but other relationships too, relationships with family members, relationships with friends, a lot of different issues coming up. So anybody interested in that, please do check out, of course, the general reading. For me, it's important. And I post them in the sequence that I, use them in. I think it's important for me to do the general first and to post it first and to watch it first, because it's sort of like the prelude to what we can expect in some areas in the love reading. All right, all that said, let's get to it. We know what kind of energy is surrounding us and what we may be in for. But it seems like a really good week, relationship-wise. I'm beginning with the dice with yes. Dirty movie. Buy shoes. Wow. I think two of these are the same dice from the general. This one certainly is massage, because I remarked about how I'm going to get one when I go get my nails done for the new moon. I always change my nail color, even if I've just gotten them done, when there's a moon phase, an important moon phase. Buy shoes. And forget it. Like, no worries this week. I really feel that. Also, I had mentioned, like in brief, what I was feeling about the Capricorn new moon. And I just feel like it's going to be about like continued letting go of stuff and people and places and things that don't serve us, to make way for a new beginning, including like our own emotions and hang-ups. Letting go of those finally too, like deciding, is it worth it for me to keep this up, or do I want this other thing? And if I want this other thing, I have to stop doing this and I have to let this go. I have to get over it. Even if I was right. I was right. They were wrong. They hurt me. I felt that I was due whatever. Sometimes you don't get closure. You just don't. And so we got to decide like what we're doing from there. And that is going to, be really, really impactful upon our new start and like how we started and with whom and maybe where and all that kind of stuff. All right. So, I did want to talk about these for a second. I was shuffling this very beautiful deck. It's called The Journey of Love. And I was going to use these for advice. I pulled out a bunch of cards that I didn't know what I was planning on doing with. But shuffling them, I realized that I had come to two cards in sequence. I opened to 43 and 44. And just the names and together had a lot of meaning. And I said, I got to show them these before I got to stop shuffling here and let them see these before I go any further. First, I want to say that these two cards together can mean something for earth and water couples coming together. Also in general, I have been feeling a lot of, and I've stopped short of saying it, but I've been feeling like engagements. I've been feeling divine masculine purchasing rings, even in cases of like where you're in separation or something. So let's say like when he went silent or left or whatever, it wasn't anything that you had done. It wasn't anything that he had done. It wasn't like he, didn't care for you or didn't want the relationship. Whatever was blocking him, preventing him, whatever he felt he lacked, whatever he felt was broken and needed to be fixed, that he couldn't go any further in that situation until these things were handled, whatever he felt wasn't ready, like he's readying it. And when it is ready, like you're not going to get a warning. This is for some. You're not even going to get a warning or expectation. Like, he's just going to show up. You haven't seen him in 6 months. I don't know. And then he's showing up with the ring on that day because he's having resolved, you know, the issues that he had or that he felt were preventing him from going forward. Perhaps stuff like what I just mentioned with the moon, with the what I feel about the Capricorn new moon. Like, am I going to continue to let this stuff hold me back? Because I can. Or do I want to go for that? I know if I want to go for that, I have to let this go, even if it is, you know, important to me, or if it does hold meaning and, you know, normally would direct how I move. I know I can't continue both. So that's going to be happening for some. But the names of these, so card number 43, the title here is The Bride Offers Herself. So I immediately, I mean, like right away, just jumped out at me that this would be surrender on behalf of the divine feminine. And maybe because of this earth energy, the Capricorn new moon, maybe it is us that are, you know, for the most part, we are dropping some requirements and some like forgetting about the apology I never got, or blaming myself, or you know, whatever, like we're dropping those, some of the restrictions, self-imposed restrictions we had on ourselves, and the bride is instead offering herself, right? Submission. And then the next card, speaking of the bride, is the Rings of Time. And that's what, one of the reasons why when I saw it, I said, I have to tell them, because I had been thinking about these engagement rings and stuff. Yeah, so, the other thing that was really exciting is what it ended up to mean in the book. It was basically what I had felt is the author's interpretation too. This is about the divine feminine offering herself to like what will be. So again, basically surrender, without restriction. This, similar to what I was feeling about the rings, and the divine masculine, like having to like ready himself, says that things only happen in divine timing. Like the reason you weren't ready before is because the universe didn't intend for you to be ready. So now you will be. Okay, so I'll finish shuffling these some more after. Let's go to hashtag creepy deck. Again, I pulled out so many, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Beginning with young male. And as I was shuffling myself, that's exactly what happened. I started with young male and I opened right to her. So there can be karmic situation going on with this young male. With the restrictive energy of Capricorn. This brunette female can be representing like karmic situations in general. It might not be an actual person, although it can be. Young male. And control. For some, I'm also feeling very strongly, and I was when I was shuffling too, that it's apparent that that brunette female represents. It represents a parent, and maybe of a younger person, a young male, young female, who's sort of like under thumb, as they say, under control of their parent, and up into friendship. Because there can be karmic situations with friends too. Again, right now is going to be a time where we need to revisit or visit for the first time. There's Raphael too. A lot of different kinds of relationships is what I felt. So new love, also a possibility for this young male. He's still there. And union, boom. So on that note, I'll cut after this. Young male still there. Okay. Ice Queen. So this would be, this or can be Venus, even Mercury representing air signs, Aquarius, Uranus. With the cat and the ice. So it's like fire and ice. This can be Venus. Venus in or Venus and Sagittarius, but she's in Capricorn too. But I don't know. I'm feeling very much some sort of connection to Sagittarius. But it can be about air and fire too in general. Maybe not Sagittarius, maybe Leo with this cat here as well. The overall energy is gossip. So this is also going to be one of the things perhaps that we have to think about. Like, do I care about this? Do I care about people talking? Can I, I was trying to live in a way where I would avoid this. Do I want to continue that, or do I want this other thing more, or other place more, other person more, a combination of those? Divine couple. Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks the union. The feminine can do. The masculine can do. Further advice from the universe. And the outcome. Karma. So the couple, everything is in divine timing. Everything is being guided by the divine. Even the divine union, I've said before, is a karmic union. We use karmic in a derogatory term, but that's not really what it means. Is an of the universe thing, and everything is being governed right now in accordance with that. So very positive. It's like destiny, fate, those sort of things. Recent past. Control. People being manipulated. Not surrendering. Not doing what they choose. Near future. Visiting these past life issues. Addressing them. Maybe letting them go. Masculine's higher self. This feminine card wants to be seen too. Beauty queen. Feeling very good about himself. Feeling very Venus-like. This is very Empress for me. So it is earth. It is air. Mostly Taurus and Libra, but air and earth coming together in that very harmonious way. This is the Venus energy. Feeling confident, feeling good about yourself, not feeling run around by others. Blocks to the union. Boom. There she is. This is the karmic, now the quote unquote karmic in the derogatory sense, energy and perhaps relationship, person that you're with. This is who was pulling these strings. What the feminine can do. She's still on path. The same thing as last week. We were guided to like sort of address. This is the bride surrendering, basically, or the submission, the bride submitting, however they worded it. This is the feminine continuing on that same path. We were guided to love. Like last week, the masculine was basically saying like, have a seat and chill out and like wait for me. And here she is, very much in this open relationship. Masculine, address the obstacles. Boom. Here's one. They're surrounding him here, and he's in position to deal with them. Further advice from the universe. It's coming through as like cut this karmic soulmate, manipulative soulmate. It's an obstacle. Because it's in pursuit of destiny, basically. And the outcome. This card does represent the karmic male for me, but also, and probably more importantly, the Capricorn energy. And that's how it's coming through right now. It's coming through as the outcome is breaking free of what was holding us back with the Capricorn new moon, just as I have been feeling about the moon. Now let's see what, from the perspective of the masculine, if he is on par with what we just got from the universe. And for him, I will use Keepers of the Light Oracle, beginning with Freya and phases and cycles, which is actually pretty perfect for this. Not only because of the moon and the darkness and the, implied restriction, perhaps, and need to transform. But we are going through these phases and cycles again of the things that need to end and things so that new beginnings can happen. There is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. And opening to Lord Shiva, Transcendence. Rise up. Honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. Lord Shiva, he is the destroyer. So he knocks down the obstacles that we just saw so that he can he knocks, and sometimes he'll knock down everything. He'll knock down the whole thing, even stuff that we feel is working, to rebuild it even better. And opening to Jwal Kul, Dharma unfolding. So this is like that karma and that destiny that was representing the divine couple a moment ago. Remember that you are on path. Okay, just as I was saying, take one step at a time to happiness. That's what we're going to be doing this week. And with the universe's help. Opening to Serapis Bay and Ascension. Move into your true self. Rise above the darkness. The light is here. Lord Shiva, and a lot of these are turning up upside down. I think when I lay them, I'm going to allow for reversals, even though there's no reversals in this deck. And we're going to see like the opposite, perhaps, of what the card would normally represent. Like, say, let's say fear. There's a card in here called Facing Fear. Just tossing this out as an example. If it showed up in reverse, that would indicate that maybe we're not facing that. So I want to do that. Commander Ashtar, call to action. Take charge. Lead by example. Walk your talk is what I was saying and what the masculine's guided to do. But I didn't realize, this happened in the general too, that my camera had shut itself off. And this hadn't happened in a long time, not even during the Mercury retrograde. And when it does happen, I tend to feel that it is interference, negative energy being like sent my way, because of all the wonderful things that are happening. All the really awesome messages that are coming through, and not just the messages, but what's going on in, our reality as well. Everything that's transpiring, what the universe is doing for us, how it's working in our lives at the moment. That there is, jealousy about that. So anyway, I've come to, because I had continued going and talking and not really realizing that it was off. I've come to Lord Shiva and Transcendence. Rise up, honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. Lord Shiva, also known as Shiva the Destroyer. He knocks everything down. Sometimes stuff that we don't feel is broken. He's very tower. Knocks everything down so that he can rebuild it even better. Even in cases when we don't feel it's broken. And he is here opposite Lord Ganesha, who also comes through and knocks everything down, particularly obstacles that are in our way. He just barrels them out of the way. And here he is doing that in areas of abundance in our life. Infinite abundance. Obstacles are being removed. Spiritual support and connections are increasing. So having these two here, I think, is reconfirmation that, yes, not only will the masculine be able to remove the obstacles that are before him, but whatever he can't remove, he has Lord Shiva and Lord Ganesh here to help him. And the divine couple is represented by karma, because it is the universe that is stepping in to do a lot of these things for us. It's not only divine time, which it is definitely divine time, but that's not it. It's also like, just like divine assistance, divine guidance, all like very orchestrated right now. Lord Shiva and Krishna, devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment, I just talked about guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. So when we're told to do our part, it's a matter of just paying attention to that and the universe handling the rest of it for us. So I'd come to the Miriam, which is a sacred vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. I talked about this before I started in connection to the moon. See the light in all. Yes, remember that love has no boundaries. It's just infinite, and it's really the only thing that's real. And also holy amethyst, divine alchemy. Move beyond current challenges. So this is more of this getting the obstacles out of your own way. Focus on what you desire. So just as I was talking about in connection to the Capricorn moon, like, do you want this thing, or do you want to continue with holding up, the challenges in front of you? Because you got to pick one. So reconfirmation of that too. Lord Shiva on the bottom, I will cut now. And I could have done that part of the reading over and just but I didn't want us to lose. I thought it was important. I thought it had meaning that Lord Shiva and Lord Ganesh showed up opposite one another here to knock down the obstacles that we had seen just in the spread before. So I didn't want to start over or scrap the reading or anything like that. Anyway, Bridget, inner strength. Move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. This is coming through very Leo for me, but we see the fire and the fire red hair here of this feminine. The overall energy is the Shekinah, sacred self. Unleash your spirit. It's like release your ex. Express your gifts. Dance to the sacred rhythm of life. The divine feminine with regard to herself. The masculine with regard to the feminine this week. About himself and the union as a whole. Again, if they're in reverse, we're gonna address them in reverse. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine to do this week for the union, what he himself is willing to, what the universe would have the two, and the outcome here. Divine feminine. Kuan Yin in reverse. Care and compassion. Choose to be love. Do what is right for everyone involved. Offer a helping hand. So where we've been struggling with this and trying to avoid it, this is our task this week, feminine. Like maybe your 3D self hasn't caught up to your 5D self yet. And this is what your higher self would like you to do, would have you to do this week. Choose to be love. And we saw that too in the other spread. We saw it with the universe, or from the perspective of the universe, which certainly includes one's higher self. We saw the feminine being guided to just be in this space of like relationship and love, similar to last week. So that's basically what this is saying, right? Choose to be love and do what's right for everyone involved. So like, it guides you further to let go of any hangups that you've been having, because that's not beneficial to not only you, but others involved. And you're stepping into this place of your role, playing your position. So now you're the maternal one and the nurturer. You care about how everybody else is affected. And sometimes more than, we care about ourselves. We have to find that balance there and make sure that you're incorporating everybody, including you, from a place of love. The masculine as it relates to the feminine, Lord Shiva, transcendence. Rise up, honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. So this was in reverse. And what it's saying to me is that the masculine, the universe sees this for him, that he can, you know, knock down obstacles. And the universe wants him to know that it will be knocking down obstacles for him too. But he doesn't necessarily realize the potential for him to knock down whatever is preventing him from making it to the divine feminine. He's not seeing it. About himself this week. I guess I talked this up, facing fear, and it's upright. So actually it's good that it's upright, because I was talking about it from a perspective of being in reverse, saying that that wouldn't really be facing fear. Upright, he is facing his fears. So then he can come, once he does that, he can, this card can flip over, and he can also remove obstacles, because this is like the biggest obstacle of them all, the root of all the obstacles. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. So where this one says rise up, this one says you can soar. So they're both about the ascension and spiritual growth of the masculine. Beautiful. And the union as a whole, also upright, it's Odin. Psychic insight. Your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. This guides us to not let like presumptions and judgments and ideologies and all sorts of false notions to dominate, you know, what we're thinking, and use your real guidance and use your intuition and pay attention to that, and like know what's real. And again, only love is real. I said that earlier. Overall, Lady Portia in reverse. Don't like seeing her in reverse. Some of you have been watching me for a while know that this is like one of my most favorite ascended masters. You know, I love them all, but I just have a thing for Lady Portia and Saint Germain. So divine order is in reverse. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. So this is where we're fighting, where it's in reverse. It's where we're fighting, doing that right thing that works for us, because we're too busy still trying to do what, you know, people pleasing, do what pleases others. But that's the facing of the fear, and that's this Lord Shiva. And they're sitting right here, you know, this is sitting right here atop those, not by mistake. Again, when we do this, these two flip over. And we do this as well. We, you know, listen to our guidance and know what's real, and stop with the false notions and the falsehoods and the gossip and negativity. Block all that out. Face the fear. I'm not afraid of you. Then all these have no choice but to flip over. What the masculine would have the feminine to do this week. The Miriam. Sacred vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. So real love, genuine love, is not limited by the like inability to move past difficulties that we had in the past, and to forgive. Real love allows for that, and that's what the masculine would have you to do. Choose to forgive in order to heal. Basically, what I expected, and hopefully you expected, because I talked about all this before I laid any cards. What is the masculine himself willing to do this week? The divine director. I like it. Intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. So he's been getting this message since we started the reading also, and since I started talking, that it's like not up to us. That this very karmic, that karma card that represented the union before, the universe is in charge right now, maybe more so than is typical. Know that you're being guided. Happiness is your purpose. So he has to go with the flow, surrender to the divine, basically, the masculine. He's willing to, which is awesome. What would the universe have the two to do? Ooh. It's Mercury, open communication in reverse. So what would the universe have us to do? Fix this, heal it, and there's Raphael outside too. With his sirens. Get a weight off your chest. Speak up with love and be heard. This is another one of the fears that has to be faced. We have this open communication and the getting of something off of our chest in reverse. It's part of the facing fear. When we do this, this too will flip over. And the outcome is Archangel Michael, upright, trusting heaven. You are safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. I love when the cards tell the same story that I've been telling, that this is a week about surrender and submission to the divine for both archetypes, and as individuals and as a couple, wherever, which applies to you. So now I'm going to do some Doreen Virtue romance angel cards, beginning with soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. And opening to finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. I think this in part is just showing up because of Capricorn. It's the earth. It's the one earth card basically of this deck. And I feel positivity about the actual financial issues this week. Soulmate. Past life relationship. You have known each other before. This is the karmic energy coming through again. Soulmate. And flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. Soulmate. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Soulmate. And make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So I'll go one more. It's retreat, another earth card. I lied before. There's more than one earth card. This would be another one. It's time to disconnect from the world. This is getting out and communing and spending time with nature, which helps to keep the flow of abundance, and love passing both ways. Soulmate. I think I lied again. Chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. And soulmate. Okay, there we go. I'm making a mess here. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. The overall energy is stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So again, we want to be reminded to avoid that energy of Mercury in Capricorn. That we just had Mercury upside down and open communication upside down because it's restricted, right? Mercury in Capricorn happened on 111, which was a 5. 111 was not like an 1111. It was a 5, and 5s can be about challenges and conflict. So we were concerned about our relationships because, again, maybe there was hurt, maybe there was a need for forgiveness, but there hasn't been any, has been no apology. We just don't know how to get back to where we belong. We still want to keep our thoughts positive because our thoughts become our reality, and we still want to maintain our faith. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Masculine children, your love life is being affected by children. For some, of course, this is actual children. And there's decisions, in which, into which he's trying to incorporate these children. And he still needs to go with his heart, which is a difficulty sometimes. Sometimes we don't see that doing what's best for us is what's best for our children. And we try to navigate our lives around them. For others, this is about the new beginning, right? The children represent the newness and the fresh start. And for others, still, these may not even be children that either one of you has. These may be children that you want to have. And again, the masculine having pulled away, withdrawn, whether physically or, at least in part. Even the married couples we have, they have this distance between them, and many have for quite some time, pulling away because he wants to be able to have, children where whatever means they come, even fur children, fur babies, and to be able to take care of them. So this is one of the obstacles. This is one of the barriers he had to push by. Like, I need a better job, or I need a better living situation, whatever the case is. Surrounded by unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. In some cases, this is a relationship, a toxic relationship with his child's other parent. In some cases, there is difficulty between him and his own siblings. Or him and his parents, his family. He has to separate from them. Boom. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. It's not your partner. It's whoever this is. This person that you, or person, people, situation, circumstance, from which you have to cut yourself away. Feminine. Passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Surrounded by, very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Grounding. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. You may need to pull away, commune with nature, meditate. That's how you're going to come to some clarity and figure out very soon what you want and how you're going to come back into balance if this is representing an imbalance, or gain some clarity as to what your next move should be. At the root, this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. And at the heart of the matter, worth waiting for, divine timing is at work in your love life. And that has been the major message of the week. I want to shuffle these a little bit. My butterfly cards, beginning with welcome the new, very appropriately, and opening to finances. Welcome the new, and forgiveness. So keeping with the themes that we've been seeing in the other spreads, welcome the new, sentimental feelings. Sentimental feelings and retirement. This can be the end of a situation, letting something go, moving so that you can move on to a new phase in your life. For some, it's actual retirement, the changing of jobs, religion and spirituality also. Retirement and windfall. On that note, I think I will cut. Sobriety, which may be about actual substances, but it can be about any codependent relationship that we've had and pulling away from that. Also, very appropriately, the overall energy is self-care. So again, making ourselves a priority, even, and I want to say in the most positive way too, even before our children, realizing that good moves that we make for ourselves and us being happy and healthy is also what's best for our children. And lastly, the cards that started it all, that gave me all these feelings. Again, I had them open to the bride offers herself and rings of time. Rings of time and the choice. The choice we're all facing. Do I live for me? Do I live for somebody else? Rings of time Drop into your heart. Again, this is following the guidance from within your own heart, nobody else. Not your mama, not your kids, not your mate, divine or otherwise, just what's in your heart. And trust that it will be the right thing for everybody involved in your situation. Rings of time and devotion to the small. I don't know if you can see this little plant here. Rings of time. I'm going to cut. I was showing you the little plant because it's new growth, and it also reminded me again of, the tree of life, which is another theme this week. Look what it is, fire and ice. So in the beginning of the reading, I got kind of stuck for a second staring at in the hashtag creepy deck, that Ice Queen and her tiger. I was feeling something very strong about fire and ice. So this is why this is so interesting. Fire and ice also is representing for me Venus, feminine planet of love,